Take off with Dave, Rosie Perez, John Hyatt, and late night's biggest airlift. It's Destination Late Show following your local news, which is next.
Up next on News 7 at 10, the incumbents on the town board of Nashville step down after political unrest. A major ruling has both sides of the tobacco debate claiming victory. And you may have seen them earlier tonight on CBS. We'll take a look at the Dukes of Hazzard and their partner, General Lee.
And I'm Dan Munson reporting live from the primetime prom at the WSAW West Fieldhouse. We'll tell you what this one's all about. People are dancing to the big band sounds of the Gene Heyer Orchestra. We'll have this in all your days. News, weather, and sports coming up next on News 7 at 10.
This is North Central Wisconsin's News Channel. News 7 at 10 with Dan Munson, Karen Odway, Mike Brumley, and Jim Homestead. The news starts now.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Dan is on assignment, as you just saw. We will catch up with him a little later on in this show. First, the story of newly elected officials in the town of Nashville who have finally taken office. This after 4 of the 5 former board members give up trying to retain their positions. They stated, quote, "Lawsuits aren't our game, but running the town smoothly without appalling interruptions at board meetings is." That comment from former town chair Richard Pitts could very well be in response to scenes like this one. After the board was voted out of office over Crandon mining issues, newly elected officials were not allowed access to the town hall. But after dropping their appeal, 4 members of the board have stepped down and the new officials have taken office.
We waited a long time for this. We had our election and we were thinking our vote didn't count, but today it showed that it did.
After taking down pictures of the Crandon mine and hanging up an American flag, the new board addressed its supporters, promising their voices will be heard.
We want to address the issues of the people. They have the say. This is their government. Hasn't been that way for quite some time. We serve them.
The new board says it will reverse any resolutions passed by the old board since Election Day. It's a chance to tell state legislators what should be in or out of the state budget. Lawmakers are holding informational meetings this week on the next 2-year biennial budget. They're working off the governor's blueprint, which is a 2,000-page, $37 billion document. Representative Joe Handrick of Minocqua is pushing for continued investment in forestry, agriculture, and tourism.
Tourism areas tend to have very high property values but low incomes. And for years, the state of Wisconsin didn't recognize that and didn't give us our fair share of state school aids. Last budget, the governor, with our help, put in what's called the 3-tier school aid formula, which really helps tourism areas. This budget, the governor's proposed keeping that formula.
The Senate is expected to act on the budget by early June. Well, it's feeling more and more like June around here every day. Let's find out if the warm weather will continue. Mike Brundling joins us from the Weather Watch Center now with the weekend forecast. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Karen. You know, I hope we don't get to June weather without getting some of the nice May weather, but I don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, let's look at our highs across the state today, and we'll see that it's the same pattern we've had all week, basically, with warmer temperatures today. We've had cooler near the lake. Milwaukee was only 55. But Green Bay 63, Wausau 62, cooler to the north, Ironwood 57, Duluth 61. And look at that, La Crosse hit 66 today, a great day for them. Currently outside, a few clouds left in the skies out there, but right now in Wausau the temperature is 51. Otherwise, it's a very pleasant evening. Your Saturday reveille looks great if I can get the words out. Temperatures across the region should be 30 to 36. And in terms of the forecast for tomorrow, we're going to be in the 60s. There's an area of 50s out to our west in association with a small storm system that'll be approaching our area and bring us a chance of showers tomorrow night into Sunday. We'll talk about all that in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right. Hopefully you'll save at least half the weekend for good weather. Thanks, Mike. A federal judge in North Carolina has dealt a mixed ruling on the government's effort to regulate tobacco sales to minors and tobacco advertising. It's a ruling that both sides of the tobacco debate consider a victory. The bottom line, the Food and Drug Administration has the right to regulate tobacco as a drug. The ruling also gives the FDA the power to control cigarette labeling, and the FDA can impose restrictions on access to cigarettes.
For young people, access equals addiction.
But the FDA will not have the authority to regulate advertising and promotion of tobacco products.
We're obviously very pleased with that result. We're disappointed that the court did not find as a matter of law that the FDA had absolutely no jurisdiction over tobacco products.
The tobacco companies are currently in negotiations to set up a $300 billion fund which will protect them from future lawsuits. Topping the other stories around our nation tonight, the horror of the Oklahoma City bombing is relived in a Denver courtroom. 9 bombing survivors and rescuers have painted a heart-wrenching picture of how a normal day turned into a nightmare of flying glass and screams. Today's testimony brought tears from the jury and some of the attorneys, but Timothy McVeigh showed no emotion. One of 2 men sought by police in connection with the deaths of 2 Baskin-Robbins employees in Tennessee has turned himself in. Authorities are still searching for 1 other suspect in the deaths of the 16 and 21-year-old. In suburban Chicago, a 2-year-old boy is left home alone for 5 days, surviving by eating ice cream bread and raw hamburger meat. Neighbors say the mother had gone to the nearby Walgreens drugstore to fill a prescription over the weekend when she got into an altercation. She reportedly ended up at a local mental health center. The case of the missing dummy missiles is solved. The FBI has found the Air Force devices in Ranger, Texas, and it's arrested the man who was driving them to New Mexico. The Air Force says the missiles appear to be secure. President Clinton has signed the documents that ratify the Chemical Weapons Treaty after Senate approval last night. The president says the treaty will keep U.S. soldiers and citizens safer. It calls for the destruction of chemical weapons stockpiles and bans future manufacturing of poison gas. Comedian Pat Paulsen is dead at the age of 69. He reportedly died of complications from pneumonia and kidney failure. Paulsen became a household name in 1968, appearing on the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. When the news continues, Dan Munson joins us live from tonight's primetime prom in Wausau. Also preventing prom night tragedy for high school students. And you may have seen it earlier tonight here on CBS. The Dukes of Hazzard of reuniting. Up next to look at the show's famous auto, General Lee. But first, a look at the stock report.
Get ready for takeoff.
Dave's airlifting in his audience from cities across the country. But they're not there just to see the stars, they'll be the stars. Destination Lake Show tonight.
Dodge Ram is #1 in resale versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. #1 in horsepower, #1 in torque, even #1 in payload and overall power. In fact, Dodge Ram is #1 in more categories than any full-size pickup. So by changing all the rules about what a truck should be, Dodge pickups are now #1 in sales growth all across America. Dodge Ram starts as low as $14,715. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
To me, recycling is really a mission of love. With our recycling project, we take the money we earn to help the poor and the needy, not only locally, but also nationally and internationally. In a big way, we honor our founders, sisters who started these hospitals over 100 years ago. Their spirit of caring is alive today. And that has helped us to grow from a small hospital to a modern network of hospitals and clinics providing general local care, as well as specialized care at the network hospitals. Helping people in need is a real reward. It is an attitude we bring to all we do, be it nursing, be it recycling, or any other calling. Ministry Health Care.
Listen to White 96.7 WYTE, today's best country.
They've got today's best country. WYTE has the best contest. Show me the money. Market chemistry. They have great chemistry. And the traffic time, 12 in a row with Greg Ryder, is a great way to get home. When does the pizza get here? Do I get paid for this?
Listen to White 96.7 WYTE, today's best country and the most morning fun.
It's that time of of year, time for high school proms. It's also the time to continue a several-year-long tradition with the Wausau East and West Key Clubs. Dan Munson is at the Wausau West Fieldhouse, where the 5th annual Primetime Prom is in full swing at this hour. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Karen. How are you tonight? Boy,
Good.
This is fun. I actually get to wear a tuxedo and look nice for a change from the top all the way down to the bottom. Joining me is Jenny Meyer. She is a Wausau West Key Club member. This has been going on for a number of years. What do you get out of it personally?
Well, I'm just happy to come here and know that I put a couple smiles on people's faces just by holding this evening. And I mean, people are out here having a great time, so it's just a personal satisfaction to know that people are having a good time.
Yeah, it sounds good. Thank you. Now, also over here is Daniela Reed. You are with the Wausau East Key Club. What do you get out of this? Is this just a fun night for you before your prom?
Yeah, this is great because I've been coming here the last 4 years, and we've seen it grow, and we've seen the Primetime Prom get bigger and better every year. So it's just a lot of fun to come out and be with the elderly people for the prom.
All right, thank you for joining us. Hey, look at these dancers out here. Shall we? I see a target. I see a target. Sir, excuse me. We were talking earlier. Are you having fun tonight?
I'm having a wonderful thing. I want to thank the banks for sponsoring this. This has always been a good time. This is our 4th year. We were here since the very first one. We enjoy it and love it.
It's amazing the turnout. I mean, there are a lot of people here dancing and enjoying this.
I think they're of the same attitude. This is a great time for us older folks, if you will, to have a good time and enjoy each other's company.
And make us feel young again.
Does it? Does it help?
Yes, I think so.
Remember, it brings us memories back of our prom a few years ago.
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. I like this music, too. All right? Hey, thanks. Have a good time. All right. Just want to show you, Karen, these are some of the Key Club members who are responsible for this night, so we'll toss it back to you.
All right, thanks, Dan. Everyone having a good time out there tonight. Well, this is prom weekend. Marathon County authorities plan to keep a close eye on high school students, but they won't be the only ones. The community wants to make sure scenes like this remain make-believe, and that means putting the clamp on underage drinking. This week, both the sheriff and police chief sent out a joint letter to taverns and motels to report any suspicious activity.
We want young people to remember prom weekend as one of the great moments of their lives, and we don't want to see it spoiled by alcohol or by other bad experiences that might emanate from alcohol experiences that maybe other people are even having. So,
this is the 2nd year authorities have sent such a letter to the business community. Alcohol can be a dangerous drink for pregnant women as well, but a recent statistic shows the Badger State ranks #1 in the country when it comes to pregnant women who drink. And it's not just a beer. A 1995 survey by the Centers for Disease Control showed more than 19% of pregnant women surveyed in this state admitted to drinking. The amount was at least 7 drinks a week, or at least 5 drinks in one sitting. Iowa was next, and Tennessee came in last. For new mom Tracy Geiger of Rib Mountain, the numbers are disturbing and surprising. Even though she was a light drinker, she stopped completely when she decided to have a baby.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like real early. I didn't at all, other than communion at church, you know. I didn't see any reason to.
We score pretty high in binge drinking, alcoholism, drinking while driving surveys too. And so I think it actually is a reflection of the whole culture in Wisconsin.
Experts say 70% of women who drink heavily will have babies who have mild or severe symptoms of fetal alcohol syndrome. It causes physical defects and mostly mental retardation. The generosity of the Central Wisconsin community is shining through again, and it's reaching out to those who have been soaked out of their homes. House Speaker Newt Gingrich visited submerged areas today in the Plains states, and now businesses and charities are banding together in Wausau. They're trucking desperately needed goods to disaster areas.
This is unbelievable. We can't believe what's really happening here.
It makes us feel wonderful that people are doing this, and this is why we came down here today.
Those suffering could use just about any items, including clothing, personal care items, cleaning supplies, pet food, and bottled water.
Volunteers all over the country are knitting and crocheting 7 by 9 inch sections, and those are put together into Afghans, which are given to the homeless.
You can bring your donations to the Wausau Daily Herald tomorrow from 8 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. If you would like more information, you can call this number, 845-0628. It's good to see that giving spirit out there.
Yes.
And you were a little giving today, giving a tour for some Girl Scouts? Or?
Yes, we had Brownie Troop number 249 from Lincoln School in Merrill here today, and we had a great time with them. And
they look happy that they were here.
I'll be back with the weather details for you folks for your weekend here in just a minute, so stay tuned.
Mike Brunling's forecast can be seen in the Wausau Daily Herald and the Wisconsin Rapids Daily Tribune.
Celebrating, and so can you, with LeSabre, the full-size family car that offers you peace of mind and $1,000 in celebration cash. Or celebrate in the all-new 1997 Century with more space, more power, more of everything, including low monthly lease payments. Hey, don't wait, celebrate. Celebrate and save on virtually the entire Buick lineup at your quality Buick dealers.
Ponderosa cooking chicken. Ponderosa grating chicken. Try Ponderosa tasty chicken choices today.
Try our 3 new tasty chicken choices. Crispy and juicy. Smothered in great taste. Or flame grilled just right. Each one served with potato and pondo comboed with an all-you-can-eat buffet hand sundae bar for just $6.99. Hurry in for tasty chicken choices. New at Ponderosa Steakhouse.
Remember the Wonder?
Remember? I remember Wonder Bread like my first bike ride, squeezing the bread bag with the red, yellow, and blue balloons. My superhero lunchbox! Oh, my first pop fly! Yeah, I got it!
Wonder may be made of memories, but it's also made with vitamins, calcium, and iron, with no saturated fat, and it's cholesterol-free.
I remember hips build strong bodies!
Excuse me. We also need some peanut butter?
Yeah. Remember the Wonder.
Get a full-size Dodge Ram Club Cab 4x4 for only $2.99 a month during the Tough Truck event at Courtesy Motors. Dodge Ram, Dakotas, conversion trucks, Club Cab, diesel, V10, nearly 100 tough new 97 Dodge trucks, and they're all on sale. Choose from over 3 dozen specially priced Club Cabs. Full-size Dodge Ram Club Cab 4x4s starting only $2.99 a month. Don't miss the Tough Truck event at Courtesy Motors, your 5-star dealer on the Courtesy Corner, your corner of great deals. Highway 51 at 66 Stevens Point.
I've been showing you photos of severe weather all week, but tonight we're going to take a step back from that and show you a beautiful sunset overlooking our lovely state capitol. You can see the state capitol right there, but we can't quite make out Lady Wisconsin, but she's up there, pointing towards Washington, D.C., as I understand it. Let's take a look at our last bit of tornado data for you this week. These are the occurrences of tornadoes in the state of Wisconsin last year, and every little dot that you see on the map represents where a tornado struck. But the way we rate tornadoes is according to a scale developed by Professor Fujita at the University of Chicago. And what they do is after the tornado hits, they go out and assess the damage and then figure out how strong the tornadoes were. Most of the tornadoes that occurred through the state, if you look at the white dots, were of the lighter variety. It only had max winds of 40 to 72 miles per hour. And the only one that was an F5, the highest on the scale, was the one that hit Oakfield with winds in excess of 260 miles an hour. So that was a very severe storm. Otherwise, not much tornado activity in the west central and northwestern part of the states last year, which is rather interesting. Almanac-wise, we had a high of 62 today after a morning low of 29. Kind of chilly this morning, but a good recovery. Record high of 85 in 1990 and a record low of 23 in 1934. We beat the normal high, but we didn't quite do too well in the normal low. Weather watches around the area turned in a good performance: 63 Amherst, 65 Hancock, 61 Medford. Look at the recovery in Scandinavia from 22 to 65. Phillips from 24 to 61. Again, it's the battle between the chilly morning temperatures and that daytime warming from our April sun. Currently in Wausau, the temperature is 51, the dew point's 25. Very dry air mass we're still in. Relative humidity is 36%. Winds are calm, the barometric pressure is fairly high, and it's still rising a little bit, and of course no precip today. So first thing I want to show you on our radar loop is the regional radar, and this is the area of showers that's associated with a very weak trough of low pressure in the middle levels of the atmosphere. It's working this way, and that's what we expect to affect our weather this weekend. And now I'm going to stop this and show you the national radar scenario, and we can see the big storm system over the south that brought heavy snows to the southern Rockies and now soaking rains over the south central states. We expect this to slide on to the south, although we may see a little bit of the cloudiness creep into the area tomorrow. Let me show you the satellite loop. Here's the main storm system to the south, and you can see as the image wears on, a little bit of the highest clouds, the cirrus clouds, start to work toward the northeast. Here's the main system going to affect us tomorrow. High pressure to the east, high pressure building into the west. We're going to have a slight warming trend early next week, which is good news for us. Let me put in the surface conditions for tonight. We'll basically highlight in detail the main storm system to the south. Very heavy rains down to the south. High pressure. Here's our trough coming in for the weekend, mainly affecting us tomorrow night and Sunday, and then high pressure behind that. Our forecast, a clear and lovely night tonight, lows of 30 to 35, light and variable winds. For tomorrow, sunny early, then increasing clouds later, highs in the low to mid-60s, nice day, southwest winds. Pollen forecast, it's kind of moderate right now because we've had some decent weather. It'll be moderate through Sunday. And the 4-day outlook looks great, folks. Yeah, there's a chance of showers, but we should have up to over 2 inches of rain for this point in April. We've only had a half an inch. We could use some rain. Unfortunately, it may hit us Saturday night into Sunday, and then next week a warm-up of sorts.
So funny how we go from one extreme to the other. Flooding conditions a few weeks ago, and now too dry.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike.
All right.
Well, you have Luke, Bo, and Daisy Duke. And don't forget Sheriff Boss Hogg and Roscoe P. Coltrane. As Bob Windsor reports, it wouldn't be the Dukes of Hazzard, though, without General Lee.
Jump that. Houdini couldn't jump that.
Many thought it was the star of the show.
It's not an it. You know, it's a he. The general is part of our family. The car originally was going to be gray, as in rebel gray, you know, like the rebels wore on their uniforms. And they couldn't see it when they tried to film it. So they painted it orange. And all of a sudden, boom, there it was.
And here it is today, just as lightning quick as the day it was born. But to get the jump the Dukes got took some special strategy on the part of Bo and Luke.
We're back! So he'd get in and reach over and start the car. As I was getting in, my foot would immediately go down on the gas. My hands would come up here, and then he would slam it down into first gear. We put it through some of the most amazing paces. And it just goes. It'll just do it. It says, come on, you know, try something else. See if you can make me stall.
Now that we already know about the car, how good were the drivers?
Schneider's a good driver. Tom Wobat.
Who knows? But one thing is clear, the General Lee will always remain a classic. For CBS, this is Bob Windsor reporting.
Now, during the TV series, there were 25 General Lee cars. Now there's about 4. And just a bit of trivia here for you. Actor Tom Wopat, who plays Luke Duke, is from Lodi, Wisconsin.
His claim to fame.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wanted you to do that, Jim. I was waiting for that.
Okay, that's a pretty lousy...
yeah, actually it is. You did it better before.
Really lousy. But let's get down to Green Bay and talk about this mini-camp business. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us.
Cab-forward design means these Dodge cars offer you more. More in terms of room, comfort, and stability. Now we've designed a way to give you something less. Less in the way of monthly payments when you select our lowest interest rates ever for 60 months on Neon, Stratus, and Intrepid ES. Or get up to $1,500 cash back. Announcing the National Dodge Sale. It's never been easier to get into the cars that changed everything. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
Jerry, about the dishwasher?
I got 0 interest, Doris.
Well, it's done its last dish.
0 interest.
Come into Home Image and ask for 0 interest on camcorders $5.99 and up. And on GE and Amana appliances $3.99 and up until October 97. That's 0 interest.
Hey, Doris, you gotta see this.
Get 0 interest, Jerry.
0 interest on
How'd you know?
Get free delivery on GE and Amana appliances $3.99 and up at Home Image.
Ed Wilson has lived on Easy Street for as long as anyone can remember, and his mower of choice has always been a lawn boy. They're lightweight, easy to maneuver, and reliable. 3 reasons why more people come back to Lawn Boy than any other brand, and why Ed came back for 3 new ones.
Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday, son.
Lawn Boy, making it easier.
Did you ever get the feeling Mother Nature doesn't like us much? One thing we can depend on around here is that the weather is tough. So you need a tough car or truck you can depend on. Rosemurgy International Auto Mall is the dealer you can depend on to help you out. Right now, you can lease a Toyota T100 from $299 a month, Toyota Camrys from $219 a month, or a Toyota Corolla from $199 a month. Now, I hate to rain on your parade, but winter will be back in only 8 months. Better come to Rosemurgy International Auto Mall today, Highway 51, exit 194, Wausau.
Well, the Packer coaching staff and a good number of fans got their first look at a new crop of rookies today. 8 draft choices and several undrafted free agents join the veterans for day one of Green Bay's post-draft minicamp. A couple of high-profile draftees are commanding the most attention. First-rounder Ross Verba will compete for a starting spot, possibly at left tackle or right guard.
Well, you don't get a lot of chances, so you have to make the best of what comes to you. I think you only get 4 reps, so you're going to try and impress, your coach and try not to fall flat on your back. So that was what my main concern today was.
Place kicker Brett Conway is probably facing the most pressure, already playing a highly visible spot. Conway now has the task of replacing longtime Packer Chris Jackie.
Yeah, I look up to him. He's, somebody who I've been watching for a number of years and thinking, wow, this guy's really good. And, I'm just fortunate to be at Green Bay. And like I said again, hopefully if things work out right. And, I'm here to win a job.
Brett Favre was the only notable veteran not in camp today. He's staying near his wife, who underwent minor surgery yesterday in Mississippi. The minicamp runs through Sunday. And the Brewers' free fall from first place has brought them to 1 game under 500 as they take the field for tonight's game against the Cleveland Indians. It's the second in a 4-game series, and boy, is the Tribe taking it to the thru. The Cleveland Indians tonight hit 8 home runs. The Brewers hit 3, so the teams combined to equal the Major League record of 11 homers in the 9-inning night game. Dave Nilsson hit one of the 3 round trippers for the Brewers, but Matt Williams, you saw him hit one first. He hit 3 tonight. Dave Justice hit a pair. Sandy Alomar, Manny Ramirez, Chad Curtis hit 1 apiece for the Tribe, and the Brewers have a 6-game losing streak. Yeehaw! 11-4 is the final from Milwaukee. They'll play tomorrow night again at 6:05. Elsewhere in the American League, Seattle wins, and listen to this, Ken Griffey has 13 home runs in the month of April. That's a record. He hit 3 tonight to take the Mariners past Toronto. Baltimore shut down Boston, Chicago by 6 over New York. Texas doubled up Minnesota. They're in the third at Anaheim, scoreless, and Kansas City leads Oakland 4-0 in the second. 1 game played dayside at Wrigley. The Gene Lamont enjoying one of Havana's finest. But the Cubs, made Gene's day less than enjoyable, I should say. In the fourth, Mark Grace delivered Scott Service. Base hit, Chicago up 4-0. Salve Sosa drove in 5 runs, 2 when he doubled in the 6th, and 3 when he launched a homer in the 8th. Cubs rolled to an 11-run lead before the Bucks could get on the board. Ryan Sandberg had a 2-run bomb in the 8th. That's Rhino's first of the year. Cubs win their 3rd game of the season and their first at home. The faithful go home happy, 11-1 the final. Florida doubled up L.A. It's Montreal 4-1 over New York. Philadelphia topped Cincinnati 10-7. Atlanta by 1 over San Diego. Houston same score over San Francisco. Colorado leading St. Louis. That's in the 8th. In high school baseball, Stevens Point and D.C. Everest pull out victories. It's Thorpe over Colby. Mosinee beat Loyal. Neilsville over Greenwood, and Phillips beat Medford. Nakusa topped Portage 6-3. A doubleheader win for Wittenberg-Burnhamwood at Bondwell. In softball, Portage over Nakusa. Tomahawk topped Medford in 6. It's Auburndale by 1 over Owen Withy. Loyal by the same margin over Mosinee, and Greenwood won by 10 over Neilsville. In boys track, Wausau West took 4th place in the Fond du Lac relays. The Warriors won the pole vault, discus, and 3,200-meter relay events. And in golf, Wisconsin Rapids hosted and won its triangular over D.C. Everest in 3rd place Antigo. The Red Raiders shot 326 to 358 for the Evergreens and 377 for the Red Robins. The NBA playoffs take us to Atlanta for Game 1 of what should be a good series between the Pistons and the Hawks. Dikembe Mutombo scored a career playoff high 26 points tonight to lead Atlanta to an 89-75 win in the first of best-of-5 series. Let's check out the scoreboard. Atlanta wins. Also, it's Chicago over Detroit in Game 1 of that one. Phoenix leads Seattle in the 3rd period, and also in a Game 1 of a 5-game series, Portland over the Lakers 24-22. Wisconsin Rapids Assumption basketball star John Goodness will take his talent, my goodness, to UW Center Marathon next season. He's a 6'3" guard. He led the Royals in scoring with an average of 12.4 points a game. Goodness also averaged 5 rebounds a game. Well, we've got hockey scores to pass on tonight as well. The Rangers have won their series, defeating Florida tonight in overtime. Ottawa over Buffalo. Senators lead that series 3-2. The Wings lead their series over the Blues. They win tonight 5-2. The series between Edmonton and Dallas is tied at 2 games apiece. They are scoreless in overtime last we heard. And in baseball today, UW Stevens Point, tough day for the Pointers, lost a doubleheader at UW Whitewater.
Wow, variety of sports this evening.
Yep, we got a little bit of everything.
Thanks, Jim. We're back in a moment with more. We have for you a springtime retreat in Brussels. Stay with us.
With the reliability of one of the most powerful V8s in its class, full-time four-wheel drive, anti-lock disc brakes, and dual airbags, think of Jeep Grand Cherokee as the calm during the storm. Now lease the Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo for $339 a month.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer. Keep basements dry with Wayne brand sump pumps. These pumps are completely submersible and overload protected. The Wayne 1/3 horsepower submersible cast iron pump is just $96.95. The 1/2 horsepower model is $108.95. Today's high-performance engines require sophisticated components. That's why Champion developed premium gold spark plugs with a palladium tip. Fleet Farm carries Champion plugs for cars, trucks, small engine, marine, and lawn and garden equipment. For trusted brand names, shop Mills Fleet Farm.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by Budweiser, King of Beers, a proud sponsor of the Channel 7 Pinbuster.
Want a bud?
Sure. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Where were we?
Hi, I'm Diane Ellis. Coming up Monday on 7 this morning, investment advice with Pat Walschlager and your financial future. You won't want to miss it on 7 this morning.
Plymouth has received some choice awards, so we're celebrating by offering you clever choices from Plymouth. You choose the way you save, either 3.9% financing for up to 60 months or $1,000 cash back. Choose your savings on Plymouth Neon or the award-winning Plymouth Breeze. Or choose the Plymouth Voyager with up to $1,845 in total package values and savings, which includes air, 7-passenger seating, and the 4th door at no extra charge. So hurry in and save with clever choices from Plymouth.
Before we go, a royal greenhouse in Brussels, Belgium has opened its doors to the public. The greenhouse was commissioned by King Leopold II so that he could enjoy a garden even during the winter months. The king wanted an eternal spring. The creation stands out because a person is able to walk close to 3/4 of a mile under glass roofs. The king also had an apartment built for himself among the palm trees. During his last years, he retired there until his death in 1909. Wow, that's just gorgeous.
No Brussels sprouts. Oh, okay.
Well, they're still partying out at WSAW West for the primetime prom. We will leave you with this tonight. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. We'll see you back here on Monday.
When you start with a real value, it's easy to have a better sale. This top of the line